read 3 poems for you, and they're all love poems this week. Everything is a love poem this week. Enzymatic capitalism, or for the sleepwalkers. I'm praying again. Pushing fists into steeples and dowsing for sky, I am every violin that rosins a note, no matter how flat, and yet still seems to sound another's. The way the gold blossom knows to lean before turning its face to the sun, pistons lagging, the way the plums, so sweet and so cold, ripen to each other. I already know what my fossil will look like. We are all built in the shape of each other's relief. If you've ever doubted adding machines, I'm your man. If you've ever woken from a dream of hallway pace to find yourself found, know that yes, topsoil turns dark before the sun thinks to set, and there are other ways, better words, chemical excuses to forget we are responsible. For all the times I think I'll hate you, remember. After Oklahoma, we started running at the mouth. Pulled our tongues wet with every kicked wasp nest and crossed professor, the sting of saltwater slaps from summers marked only by the welt of their radio hits. We told every story Kansas corn could hold. In its stride, the long length of field, not unlike that of a city block, but slower somehow. A 45 clicked to 70 with the tires keeping time, a cloudless blue flash between wide streaks of yellow-tipped everything. We spoke steadily, deep into the swing of September, into crabgrass and porch steps. Pocket watches leaned open in palms like old men in gold rockers, as if the deep yawn of autumn didn't swallow us whole. And Virginia couldn't hear us coming. Be patient with me. I woke up at the vanishing point, the one where everybody is headed. Not knowing that by nightfall, I'd be moonwalking back toward my bed, away from the finish line of certainties, and backstroking against streams of China Beach and the glass blown of your orchard skies. I thought you were built in the shape of so many things I knew by heart. All of them sweet apples gone rotten at the core. I can only count on one hand the years I've spent sober from ferment, and 3 times that, the cider lips that have kept me filling the glass in the other. Forgive me. It's been a long time since I've sat in the living room of my body with someone who hasn't asked to begin redecorating. I've only just remembered that I was born Huckleberry Finn, and you are the first in a long time to not mistake my cowlicks for curls, or ask me to be Sarah Mary Williams, to not pull the red lever on this gender elevator and beg me to stand still. They say there is violence to every new beginning, so let me love you gently. As if you and I hadn't been both gravity slammed on and catapulted off the seesaw of visibility, or found our bodies buried in far-off distant hillside cities with Leviticus breathing down our backs. Let me love you in Old English, or family recipes, in every language that hasn't yet ruined the first season's snow, or the meaning of yes. Let me love you the way my grandpa loved whiskey.
Yes.
Shamelessly and with abandon. Let me make watermarks in your hardware, bump my glass hip to yours. There's a 4-poster bed in my chest with your handkerchief knotted to its banister, and I am splintering, bent and bowed low, like a tree in monsoon season, proposing with all of my 26 rings. How about Oklahoma? Or Utah? Maybe a rocker in southern Georgia, or porch steps on the coast of Maine, because you and I, we have both done right too many times, and I want this, so baby, get messy with me. Let's do it all wrong. Leave the tired to their ruts. Invent something other than the wheel with me. I don't want anything labeled, processed, pre-wrapped. Don't want forward if it's told what we already know. I want slow motion.
Yes.
Let me slow dance you in the kitchen while the artichokes boil over. I want to boil over with you. Paint the kitchen the color of our water damage. Forget children. I want to raise a barn with you. Put hammer to nail and barrel buckle our bodies to community. I want the blister of handmade on my heart and the dirt of homegrown in our bed. And if it's true that only fools rush in, then fuck, take my hand. Take my whole life too, because you and I, we've made each other bold enough To think that even backwards is better than what we've tried to bend ourselves into. And it's true that I've got fistfights in my belly for every coward that's handcuffed their hurt to loving you. And I know you've never charged extra for baggage, but this body is a suitcase, and I don't intend on letting you carry it. Walk beside me. Let your bracken tweed stand alongside the Midwestern yearn of my urban swoon. Show me your swagger just by popping locking your garter belt. I want to write your name in the dust of a train car's exhale somewhere south of the Mason-Dixon. Kick wasp nest deep into the hills of Julian, where you found that bomb and still made it back to show me how to ball a yarn and crowbar myself open wide enough for the helium of your heart hatch to hot air balloon us into every chariot's afternoon swung low. So let's go. Lung shock, head roll off the dock and into crisp lake water of the next 60 new beginnings, all hands and no hesitation.